As of today, I'm on sabbatical from my day job as a writer for PC Gamer, and for the next 3 months I'm just going to be a full-time game developer, which means I can finally change out these stupid clothes that make games journalists wear. So I'm taking this break to finish Gunpoint, hopefully, and if I can do that in this 3 months, and I release it, and it makes enough money that doing it full-time might be a viable career option, then I'm going to do that. I've decided that I do actually, if I can, want to be an independent game developer, which means that I might just be at home forever now. Like, this might just be, if all of that happens in the right time frame, then I would quit my job at PC Gamer and not go back to it, which is kind of a scary thing. Like, I left an office full of my friends where I get to hang out with them every day and do an amazing job. Like, it's just a ridiculously good job. And the notion of like going to my house, like this kitchen is Suspicious Developments office. Suspicious Developments is my company, and it's a bad name for a company because it's one of the words I can't say very quickly. This house is my office, and I don't want to work from home forever, but I have to admit it doesn't make any economic sense to not do it. Like, it's completely free because I need a house anyway, and everything I need is here. And even if I collaborate with other people on future projects and stuff, I don't really need to be in an office with them. And I kind of like what I did with Gunpoint, which was put out an open call for submissions and work with people all over the world, so that I can get the the very best people for the exact kind of thing for the project that I'm working on. So yeah, what I do in the long term is going to come down to just how well Gunpoint sells, and I will be nagging you fairly heavily about that at the time. I'm not going to now because there's no way for you to give me any money right now, so you won't be getting a hard sell just yet. But yeah, it wasn't always gonna unfold this way. I remember at GDC last year, which was exactly a year ago, because GDC is going on right now, and I'm not there, which is a source of great misery for me. John Walker said to me, "Oh, sorry, I suppose you'll be quitting your job any day now." And I was like, "What? No, I'm going to carry on doing my day job, and I'm going to do this on the side." And that was still kind of the plan. It wasn't really taking too much of a toll back then, but then I tried to finish the game, and that's when suddenly you realise just how much work it really involves. And it's not so much like the amount of work I'm fine with. I've sort of made my peace with the fact that games take a long time to finish, and I'm not at all bored of Gunpoint. I really like working on it. I'm really excited about the finished thing. The only time it becomes a negative thing is when I look at what I've got left to do, and I can't see how it's going to cram into the time that, like, I never have a hard deadline, but I always have a mental deadline, it can't take another year. It can't take another year! And so when I look at, let's say 11 months, and try and cram all the work I've got left into 11 months, and I can't see how that's going to fit, that stresses me out a little bit. But I never actually feel like, oh god, this next thing I've got to do is just boring, or there are boring tasks in it, but it's like when it's something that the reason I want to finish Gunpoint is just because that's what I want to do. There are loads of reasons, I really want to have finished a game and find out what that's like. I really want to see what people think of it, and react to that and change it if people want it changed, and kind of develop it further and see what the best things to add to it would be, and that kind of stuff. And I also, in particular, the really big thing that presses on me every day is I want to know whether I can do this as a job. If I can, that's a really life-changingly big deal. That's literally will change the rest of my life. But I don't know that yet, and no matter how many people tell me they're really excited about it and tell me it's going to do great, I'm not stupid enough to accept any of that as, oh, it's in the bag now, I can just relax and it will definitely make a living. In fact, it's getting to the point where that's a little bit destructive to have people keep telling me it's going to do really well. Like, I really appreciate it, it's fantastic, but it's like, it's a hard and fast rule that I cannot believe you if you say that. I cannot ever take your word for it. I can't ever say that, oh, Gunpoint's going to do great, everyone says it's going to do great, so therefore it's going to do great. But it's hard, like, people keep saying that. Like, it's hard to completely ignore it. Like, we're just, human beings are wired to kind of believe other people if people keep saying something. And it's an outright negative for me if I believe Gunpoint's going to do well. If I start to assume it's going to do well, then there's no good outcome to that. It can only meet my expectations or fail them. And I really want to avoid that situation. So I was talking to somebody recently in a pub. I won't name them because maybe, I don't know, it makes them sound a bit negative, but they said, you know, statistically, you probably won't make a living from this game. And I was like, oh, thank you. At last, someone can bring my expectations down a bit. And now I'm like, yes, you're right. There's a very good chance this won't be a career. Because that's like I can already picture, I know some people who are really excited about Gunpoint and I'm really grateful for it and it's fantastic and it really does generally help me develop it. But I can picture those people commenting on this and saying, oh, don't worry, man, it's going to do great. Don't say that. Please don't say that. I need to not hear that. But, you know, by all means, tell me you're excited about it. So yeah, I feel like I'm not that scared about this. I mean, I guess it's I get kind of the benefit of quitting my day job and following my dream, except without the actual big risk that you take, which is, you know, quit your day job and you follow your dream and it doesn't work out financially, then you're kind of fucked. So I'm trying to do like the cautious strategic thing, which is I've been at Future easily long enough to have earned my sabbatical. You only have to be there 5 years and I've been there 9 years. And I sort of checked that it would, you know, that I would actually get my job back, not an equivalent job at a different magazine or something, or you know, in some other department, which would be not at all the same. One of the reasons I've been so reluctant to do this in the first place, and it's taken me a long time to kind of decide to do it, is that I have a really good job. I really like my job. It's, you know, one of the best jobs in the world. It's reviewing video games, and I've, you know, very consciously resisted letting it change into anything else. You know, every time there's a new responsibility coming up and, you know, it could be a promotion and a pay rise, I'm like, no, give it away from me. I just want to write. I really like writing. Which is why I'm still a section editor after 9 years, which is a terrible performance if you're trying to climb the editorial ladder. But it's very good if you just like writing. So, yeah, it's kind of, I hope I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds a little bit. I get to find out whether the independent thing will work, but I'm not screwed if it doesn't. Of course, what could happen is I don't finish Gunpoint in 3 months, and then I have to go back to my day job, and I've used up all my holidays, so I wouldn't even get any, like, I'd just be doing it at weekends, and the only thing that's been unpleasant about doing Gunpoint is just that I don't get weekends at the moment. That's what I'm looking forward to in the next 3 months. I think I might maybe take 1 day off a week, perhaps, if I'm feeling really generous. Because lately I've been, you know, working in every spare day I get, and then working a day job the rest of the time. And so I think I mentioned in the last one, it was it's intensive. It's actually not, like, it's not really that bad. It's not bad compared to, you know, real jobs where you have to do actual work. Since, like, oh, it's so rough, man. I have to go to my day job, I have to write about video games, then I go home, I have to make a video game. Oh god, it's so rough. I'm not complaining at all, but it is going to be nice to be able to, just from the perspective of, like, making Gunpoint better, it will be nice to have a little bit of breathing room to do other things occasionally, maybe play some games more. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. The next video I put up is going to be, it won't be me talking, which, actually no, sorry, it will. It's going to be me talking. You have to look at my face this time, because it's going to be another trailer for Gunpoint. There's going to be some stuff I haven't shown before, and it's going to be an announcement which you shouldn't get too excited about, because it's a huge deal for me. It's something I'm incredibly excited about, but you're going to see it and just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.